Have you ever been at a funeral, a serious meeting, or a very tense situation, and suddenly, without meaning to, you felt the urge to laugh? It feels inappropriate, even embarrassing, and yet it happens to people all the time. Why does laughter, something associated with joy and humor, show up in the most serious, uncomfortable, or even tragic moments? Today, we'll explore the psychology and sociology of nervous laughter, and what it really says about us as human beings. At first glance, laughter seems simple. We laugh when something is funny. But psychology shows us that laughter is far more complex. It's not just a reaction to jokes or comedy, it's a deeply social signal. We laugh to connect, to release energy, and to manage tension. Sometimes we laugh because we're amused, but other times we laugh precisely because we're uncomfortable. Think about it. Laughter is the body's way of releasing pressure. When you're in a serious moment, say, at a hospital waiting room or during an intense argument, the emotional atmosphere can feel heavy, almost unbearable. Your body looks for a way to diffuse that tension, and laughter provides an outlet. It doesn't mean you find the situation funny, it means your nervous system is overwhelmed and searching for release. Psychologists call this nervous laughter. It's an involuntary response to stress, anxiety, or discomfort. Instead of crying, shouting, or panicking, the body sometimes defaults to laughter. In a way, it's like your emotions taking a wrong turn, the energy of fear or sadness gets rerouted into laughter. That's why people often laugh after being startled, or when they're embarrassed. It's not comedy, it's coping. But nervous laughter is also social. Humans are wired to communicate emotions through facial expressions and sounds, and laughter is one of our most universal signals. In a tense or serious setting, laughter can serve as a subtle message: I don't know what to do. I'm uncomfortable. Please ease the tension. It's an attempt to signal vulnerability and seek connection. If you've ever laughed during a serious conversation and noticed others laugh with you, it's not because the situation suddenly became funny, it's because laughter spread as a way of softening the emotional weight. There's also a cultural layer to this. In many societies, silence or heavy emotion can feel unbearable in group settings. People are taught, often unconsciously, to lighten the mood. Laughter becomes a social lubricant, breaking through awkwardness and discomfort. This is why people sometimes giggle during moments of grief or shock. They're not mocking the situation, they're unconsciously trying to balance unbearable feelings with something lighter. Interestingly, neuroscientists have studied this phenomenon and found that laughter and crying are closely linked in the brain. Both involve strong emotional arousal and can even feel physically similar. Think about how people sometimes laugh until they cry, or cry until they laugh. This overlap explains why in moments of deep emotion, the line between laughter and tears can blur. Our brains sometimes misfire, releasing laughter when we expect tears. Another angle is the idea of incongruity. Humor theory suggests that we laugh when something is unexpected or out of place. Serious situations create a backdrop of solemnity, so even a small slip, a nervous chuckle, a misplaced word, or even the simple fact of feeling overwhelmed creates incongruity. That mismatch triggers laughter, not because the situation is funny, but because the brain reacts to the unexpected break in tone. Of course, this can cause misunderstandings. Laughing at the wrong time can be perceived as disrespectful or insensitive, especially in settings like funerals or tragedies. But understanding the psychology behind it helps. Nervous laughter is rarely intentional mockery. It's more often a natural coping mechanism, one that many people don't even realize they're doing. Sociologists also note that laughter in serious moments helps regulate group dynamics. In high-stakes situations like soldiers before battle, or medical teams under pressure, laughter sometimes emerges as a way to bond and cope collectively. Sharing a laugh, even an inappropriate one, creates connection and reminds people of their shared humanity in the face of stress. What looks like insensitivity may actually be resilience. So, why do people laugh in serious moments? Because laughter is not just about comedy, it's about survival. It's a release valve for overwhelming emotions, a social signal for connection, and a way for the brain to process the unbearable. Nervous laughter shows us that human beings are complex emotional creatures, wired to cope with stress in unexpected ways. The next time you find yourself laughing when you shouldn't, try not to judge yourself too harshly. Instead, recognize it for what it is: your body and mind searching for balance, trying to release tension and reconnect with others. It may not be appropriate, but it is profoundly human. And maybe that's the real lesson. Laughter is not always about joy, it's about being alive in the full spectrum of human emotion, even when those emotions collide in the most serious of moments.